This is Contractor Sense with Ruth King.
Welcome to Contractor Sense. Here you discover ideas, tactics, news, and information that matters to your contracting business and you. I'm your host, Ruth King. This episode is sponsored by Financially Fit Business. Go to financiallyfit.business to analyze your monthly financial statements, grow your business profitably, and build wealth in less than 10 minutes a month. Thank you for joining us. Here's how we will help your business and you today. Lifelong customers. This is one of the keys to building a profit and wealthy company. You might recognize my guest today, Ron Nussbaum, co-founder of NutNest. We spoke about a year ago. Ron has some new innovative ideas on how to keep your customers for life, so I invited him back to share these ideas with you. Ron, welcome to Contractor Sense.
Hey, it is great to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. I'm glad you reached out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So remind everybody what NutNest is first, before we get into the new stuff.
Yeah, well, we're actually BuilderComs now. We did a rebrand, changed our name, and we are a customer communication platform built for the construction industry.
So why did you change your name? Let's start there.
I got tired of explaining it. No, it's, I would spend about the first 5 minutes of every call explaining how NutNest in Nussbaum means nut tree in German. And this is like a nest where all your project information stays. And, it didn't incorporate who we are as a company. Like, BuilderComs is who we are. It's what we do. And it's very self-explanatory. So it gave me an opportunity to put everything out there. What I learned in a couple months of being NutNest, because I'm just a Marine that was in residential construction for about 12 years. And now I created this software. So like I had to make an adjustment of an understanding, because it's different running a construction company and bringing a software to market. And
really? You're sure about that?
Yeah, just a little bit. So I did the original branding, the original name. Like I was thinking more as that contractor or that builder, and I wasn't thinking about how do we make this appeal to the masses. So I learned a lot. I've continued to learn a lot, and here we are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through the journey. I mean, your customers really and truly you help them get them for life. That help the contractors get their customers for life. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, not just get them, keep them.
That's what I say. If you've got a customer for life, you keep them for life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we help builders and contractors fix the loop of communication, and where stuff falls off, we get rid of that. And that, why I built BuilderComs was because I dealt with some escalated customers, and I didn't think that's how it should be. And I really dug into communication, and it's never the project, it's never the guys, it's really these communication breakdowns that happen during a project that 90% of the time they happen because we don't have the right tool. We're relying on technology that's not built for construction, or somebody to respond to an email or text message, and it creates these breakdowns. And then a customer gets upset, and it becomes a bad deal where they don't just not come back to you, they don't refer you. And it can
go the other way. They can not refer you, and they can badmouth you, which makes it that much worse.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyway, so good. So we now have a new corporate name, and that has helped, I am sure. So how has the market changed, and how has customer needs and perceptions changed? And has it gotten any better looking at contractors, or do we still have a bad name?
I think it's getting better. It's an amazing time right now in the construction industry, because it's still rapidly growing, and guys are starting to look forward. My fastest growing demographic, and what really excites me about where construction's headed, is contractors that have been in the business for 2 to 5 years. They understand that communication is a problem and they never want to have that problem as they grow their company. So I'm dealing with the newer generation of contractors and builders, which to me, that's exciting because here they are looking at what are the industry problems, what have been the standards for so many years, and they're saying we want to take care of that on day one.
Yeah. And you also, the younger ones will look at technology and say, how can technology help me do this? Whereas the older ones will go, well, we've never done it that way. Why should we change?
Yeah, 70% of my customers were the first technology they start to implement, which is a staggering number, especially when you start to think that over 50% of residential construction doesn't use any technology. So there's really the market there to start being that bridge to help people, no matter if you're just starting out or if you've been in the industry for years, to be able to build, to be able to implement something that's just simple to use, that not just not just corrects your customer communication, but it starts to make you comfortable with technology, is what I like to say.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not, okay, you have to program this and use JCL, which is in my day was job control language. And, we had to write our own job control, run this, run that, do this, do that. I mean, that's how we programmed back in the 70s. It was crazy. Now it's just done for you it's so much easier these days. Nobody's even heard of Fortran anymore. So for those of you out there, when I was in college, we programmed on Fortran, which was before BASIC, and we had to literally write all of our commands down, and they were on punch cards. So I'm probably dating myself, Ron, really bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, the industry is consistently evolving and becoming better because of it, in my mind. I mean, what I'm seeing right now is we have a lot of guys like myself that came from the industry that are starting to move into the software realm, which is what really needs to happen to create the solutions that the industry needs.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Before we take a break, if somebody wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, you can go on buildercoms.com. It's COMS.com. Or I'm on all social media. Feel free to reach out to me.
And that's RONSUSSBAUM. Right?
RONNUSSBAUM.
That's what I said. So all right, we'll be right back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense.
Imagine you had total freedom. You didn't have to worry about money. You didn't have to be a slave to your business. The words "I can't" are eliminated from your vocabulary. What if you could do what you want to do, whenever you want to do it? A financially fit business could give you that freedom. How? By knowing what your financial statements are telling you and taking action based on what they say. You can do this in less than 10 minutes a month, at an investment of less than taking your family out to dinner once a month. And if your financial statements are a mess, you can get help. Go to www.financiallyfit.business or click on the QR code below to get started today.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Contractor Sense. I am speaking with Ron, I apologize for screwing up your last name, Nussbaum, who is the founder of BuilderComs, because I still have NutNest in my head because that's where we started. But you explained to us why you changed it. It was a good reason to make the change so that it really described what you do. So let's talk about what you really do. So let's talk about BuilderComs. What does it do?
I like to say we get rid of the he said, she said in construction. And I think we've all been there where we have a customer that believes one thing has happened, you believe another, but nobody has any records of anything. That's what we start to create. Now, in BuilderComs, we get all your pictures, all your communication, all your documents in one place, and then we organize them per project. So no more digging through emails, no more missed text messages. It's all right there. It's transparent for every party involved. And where the magic really happens is in our channels of communication. So I like to say that if a customer is reaching out to somebody at your company and they're getting the industry standard of, hey, sorry, I'm not the person, it's because your customers don't have clarity on who they should be talking to. Whether they're reaching out to a sales rep or they're reaching out to Mary, the receptionist, when they have a scheduling question, they need to be reaching out to that person that's in charge of that schedule. Or if they have a general project question, they need to be reaching out to that production manager, that superintendent, somebody that can answer these questions. And in the construction industry, that is where the ball gets dropped a lot of the times. I'm just as guilty as everybody of taking a call saying, hey, I have the right person call you back. And then I go to the coffee pot and I end up talking about something and I completely forget about it. And 48 hours later, my phone's ringing and somebody's yelling at me. And it's not because I wanted to be a bad communicator. It's just I didn't have the right tools. And that's what we start to allow to happen when you implement builder comms into your business, is your customer has a way to talk to the right people at your company. And you have a way to make sure that they're talking to the right people.
All right. So let's assume that I call in and I want to talk to somebody about a problem that somebody screwed up on a job. All right. So take me through the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't do no phone calls. We run everything through messaging. So there is a record of what everybody has said. And the great thing is we do have a service channel. So as the homeowner, you would come in there, you would go into that project and you would message that service channel and you would say, hey, such and such was out here. I now have this issue. So instead of it going to the receptionist or that sales rep or the foreman that was out there, it'll go to the person at that company that is in charge of handling the post-job issues. And they would reach back out to you through there. And in an ideal order, how I teach people to do it is you set up a time to go out there or have that customer send you a video through Builder Comms of exactly what's going on so you can start to address that.
All right. So I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm Mrs. Jones. I call and I send you everything you need and nobody's called me back. How do you track to make sure the phone call is returned?
So since we keep records of everything, that's an accountability issue. And as an owner of a company, we provide the access to everything that's happening that is really unprecedented. So right now, if you're a company owner and you're not using Builder Comms, you have no idea really what's being said or if people are getting back to other people. We create our timestamp communications that's keyword searchable. So as an owner, you can go in there and you can look at every project. You can see what your customers are saying. Are your guys responding back? What are they saying to your customers? It creates this record of all the communication that you can then hold your team accountable to.
Yeah, because you and I both know there's a lot of managers and supervisors out there who would prefer to sweep a problem under the rug and ignore it, thinking it will go away. And I think this prevents that, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we create clear expectations from the highest level all the way to the customer for what happens when we communicate. What does those response times look like? And now we can actually hold people accountable because we have a way to track it. And in the past, that's what we haven't had. We haven't had any clear accountability with communication, but now we do.
Yeah. And that's really important because, even if I don't have a problem, I want to know that, if I send you a compliment that you guys did a phenomenal job out here. Thank you very much. Somebody should get back to that person. It doesn't always have to be negative.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what we just help create is that customer experience where they want to come back, they want to do more business with you because they feel like you're putting your best foot forward and not trying to hide anything or not try to sweep anything under the rug. I have users that use it in the sales process now. to just address the communication. Like they'll say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, I understand communication is a major concern of yours because it's a major concern of all of our homeowners. What we have done is we've committed to using builder comms, and this is where all of our communication will go through. So you never have to worry about who am I reaching out to or who should I talk to about anything that's happening throughout this project.
And the customers, I assume, like it.
Customers love it because this is their biggest concern when they're writing that deposit check. Like, am I ever going to hear back from this guy? How are we going to communicate going forward? What happens when I write you a check?
Yeah.
And this gives them the peace of mind that they have proactively thought about this. And that's a real differentiator right now. I'm planning on making it so it's the standard, but right now it's a differentiator for guys to be able to say, hey, this is how we communicate and this is what we do.
Yeah. And that also, if there's two people that have equal prices, I mean, project prices for customer, one who shows how they communicate better probably will win the job over the one who doesn't, at least right now.
Yeah, no, right now, that's definitely the case. The guys that I have that started using it in the sales process, because I originally built this as something that once the project became a project is where I thought it would be utilized. And then I had guys start using it in the sales process and they're killing it. They're like, this is such a differentiator with our customers and our competition that they were picked to go with us because they know we made the investment in this.
Got it. All right, Ron, give everybody your contact information one last time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Ron Nussbaum. I'm on every social media out there, and buildercoms.com is where you can find us.
Ron, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me back. I love it. It's a great conversation.
My pleasure. And thanks to all of you for joining us. Choose one thing that you discovered and implement it in your business. These ideas, tactics, and strategies help you make more money, have more free time, and give back. If you like today's program, spread the word. Please review this podcast on any device you're listening to it on. Help a fellow contractor make more money too. For comments or questions, call me at 770-729-0258 or email Ruth King at hvacchannel.tv. Thanks for listening. Have a great and profitable day.